Hey everyone, quick update from me because I haven't done a video in a long time. I thought I'd say hi, and yeah, it's 2025, January 2025 now, and so it must have been a few years ago I did a video of yeah, some bits and pieces. I know I've got a couple on YouTube, not much, but I don't have the time. I'm not a social media influencer. I'm not a videographer or anything like that. So yeah, I just tend to be too busy knuckling down servers and turntables. So yeah, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the workshop in a second, and I'll flip the camera around to do that, but I just thought I'd quickly say hi, and yeah, just sort of like say yes, I'm still here, I'm still servicing decks. Little bit of news, I am now semi-retired, so I only actually work Mondays to Wednesdays, and don't panic, there are still plenty of slots available to booking throughout the year, although they are filling up fast. So yeah, I'm going to flip the camera around, do a quick workshop tour for you, show you what's in stock, all the bits and pieces, and we'll take it from there. So yeah, a quick tour of the workshop and what goes on in here. So yeah, it's mostly just full of parts and a few tools. I also have a bigger tool bag down there, but the main tools I use are just put on the bench there, simple access for me. So yeah, parts. So we got your things like your hinge brackets, your hinges. That's these up here. Yeah, so you can probably tell by the part numbers as to what's in stock there. These pair with these, so these are the cable clamps, and these are all original parts. Everything you see is original parts because I was able to buy them all up before Panasonic shut down their spares portal. So yeah, you've got your shading cloths, you've got your slide felts, ground cables, there's boxes of those. And then yeah, you've got these are interesting. So these are the Japanese cable. These are what was fitted to the gold turntables and Mark V Gs. Not to be confused with some which are advertised with the same part number on places like eBay. Basically they're not the same. The real ones are these. You can always tell because when you look at the side of the packet, I don't know if you can see, it's really difficult to tell under the camera, but it actually has the Technics branding along the cable there. So you all along the actual cable, if it's a Technics branding and if it's made in Japan, then it is the real part number. So yeah, those are very, very rare. These are what come with the GAE models. This is what I offer as an upgrade for the Mark IIs. So basically you snip one end off and you pop them in the clamp. There's a knack to it, but I've done so many it just pops in nice and easy now. And then you've got your normal original cables. So these are the, yeah, so they're in packs of 10 still at the moment, but yeah, your standard phono cables there. Lamps, so this is, yeah, your standard lamp. I've got about another 700 of these left. Feet, center shaft assemblies, pitch controls, and then you've got all your little bits down here, such as things like your oil. You got your head shells. A word about the head shells, the original ones are a lot better. These are the Malaysian ones. So I had some of these come through, and the quality is nowhere near as good as the original head shells. So if you want to keep it original, stick with those. Operation bases, your knobs, your buttons, your switches, your on and off knobs, everything like that is all up here. Down here we got all the motor PCBs. So yeah, these yeah, that's these. So I've refurbished them, and yeah, they're pretty much back up together, because what I tend to do is to offer people to swap over if they've got serious issues. And yeah, these are reserved for service customers. A lot of these parts are. And then you've got things like obviously adhesives and the older case for this is the recommended driver for taking apart. It's got all the correct torque settings as well, which is really good. And yeah, and then Keysight scope, if you know you know. These are absolutely excellent. Yeah, you know, didn't really need to say much more about that. And then yeah, your frequency counter, PSU, a couple of bits and pieces, and then right in the corner there's my solder stash. So yeah, it's all in bags so it doesn't oxidize. And yeah, basically what you've got is I use lead based solder. I would never use lead free. It is terrible stuff, and it shouldn't even be endorsed. And the problem we got is, you know, people use lead free and it starts to go brittle after a few years. You've got the Kirkendall effect, tin whiskers, you'll get none of that from me. The solder I used actually got 2% silver as well, so it's the best of the lead based you can find, 62-236. And I even have my own account with Water Metals, so I don't know if you can just make on there. It's got Technic service on the reels. About 50 quid a reel this stuff. The cheap stuff is about 20 quid a reel, but when you service in Technics you don't cheap out. You really make sure you put the effort in. And yeah, and obviously the workshop, and I got these to put the turntables on there, so I made them up. It's a very simple speaker covering cloth and just as foam, and then yeah, so they're sitting there nicely. So yeah, that's sort of like running stock there. And then over here, all the smaller bits and pieces, all the components and everything like that you got in there. You know, all the stuff you'd ever sort of need. You know, oil dampers, you know, lift knobs, that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's all in there, all nicely labelled up. And then yeah, going back here then, so we got power transformers, and then you've got the that's the black round bases that the height adjuster screws into. And then you've got your MK2B, M1200 MK28, so that's the turn arm bases. And then a couple of Mike 5G ones there. You've got your inserts, which has got all the mechanism detector coil assemblies. And then over to the tone arms. So yeah, these are the refurb ones. So these are Mark 5G refurb, a couple of gold ones there, one more Mark 5G refurb, and some unopened ones there. And then your Mark 2 tone arms are there, ours for refurb. So I do like to give customers an option of a refurbished unit. Basically I sacrifice a new tone arm with a couple of old ones, so it gives a cheaper option. And then yeah, it just balances out a bit better, so people don't have to spend silly money on a brand new one if they don't want to. Some people choose to, that's fine. And then your 1200 arms there, and then all your service aids and everything like that there. Just a couple of turntables to do today, and that's it. Yeah, just a very quick service on them. And yeah, general bits and pieces as we can see as we go around there. And then underneath is your main stock, so what I call your bulk stock. So your bigger boxes of things like sorry, that's the rubbish bin, but bigger boxes of things like the light lamps and pictures, electronic parts and all that sort of stuff under there. So yeah, certainly loads of boxes of pictures, and yeah, Anduril 465, if you know, you know what that is. That is the spindle lubricating oil. That's the original stuff. It's about 400 quid for one of those tubs. And yeah, bulk tools, and yeah, and other bits and pieces under there as well. And I have a stash of like parts I've taken out of other turntables where people use the wrong screws and that, so I just tend to have a stash of parts over there. So if people have sent me a turntable, they've done some DIY and it's got the wrong screw, I just swap them over. I you know, a lot of the time I don't even mention it. So yeah, that is pretty much a tour of the workshop and how everything, you know, is set up in here. I will always advise, if you're wondering who to take your turntables to, get them to show you their workshop, so you know where they are being serviced and if the parts are on the shelf. So just going to flip the camera back round. So there you go, all stocked up and ready to go. Yeah, so yeah, be careful though. I mean, there are a lot of people that when they advertise servicing turntables, make sure you know what you're getting. Are they formally qualified? Do they have certificates? I know I keep saying this, but it's so important, because some of those turntables come back to me and the work I've seen is terrible. Well advertised technicians around the UK, they should not be opening up turntables. I'm not going to mention who. All I will say is make sure they're qualified and ask to see their workshop. You know, make sure you know where your decks are going. Are they being serviced properly? You know, are there parts on the shelf? Don't let them blag talk you to say parts aren't available and stuff. That's salesman talk. You know, that's not what you should. That's not what your turntables deserve. They deserve better than that. So make sure you know what you're getting. And you know, these people really should be named and shamed. But I'm not going to do that. Yeah, it's just so much of it now, and they all go online and they slag me off online, you know, because they all stick together, because they all get a bit jealous. But that's social media. That's why I always direct people to the website, because it takes away that social media mentality. So if you are yeah, when you ask about getting your turntable serviced online on certainly on Facebook and stuff, I always say go to the website and read through it carefully, because that way you'll know that you're gonna, you'll get all the information as it should be, without the social media filters and everything like that going on, because I can't deal with that. I haven't got the time for that. Anyway, so yeah, so like I say, just yeah, if you want to put your turntables in, head over to the website. All the contact details are on there. You can phone me. The problem is this workshop, it is a Faraday cage. It is solid metal walls all round, so on the outside, so I don't always get a signal in here, which is nice and peaceful for me. I even go into the studio office when I do all the invoicing and stuff. I don't even have a PC in here or anything that keeps pinging. I like to be out the way, getting on with me work in here. So as you can see, that's why I don't have a computer in here, because I'll do all that stuff in the office. So yeah, it's less distraction. Maybe it's an autism thing, I don't know, but there you go. Yeah, there we have it. So yeah, thanks for taking the time to watch the video anyway, and yeah, I look forward to hearing from you when you want your turntables booked in. And yeah, stay safe out there and have fun. Cheers.